Hey, today I will go through my Juggling Club collection and I will talk about all these different styles of juggling clubs and to which style of juggling they are suited and what my personal preferences is, so stay tuned. Hey there! First, these are juggling clubs. Not juggling pins, no bowling pins, just juggling clubs or even worse in German. It's a Jonglierkeule, it's not a Kegel or anything like that. So before I dive into all of these awesome juggling clubs, let me introduce myself. I'm Kai, I'm a professional juggler. I started this YouTube channel at the beginning of Corona and now I will upload every week one video, maybe more. So if you like all this content around the flow arts with poise, stuff or juggling with balls, clubs and even more, and every month one performance video, just subscribe to the channel, ring the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming video. And now let's check out the clubs. At first, I will start just with a few words to the strange things you see here and then go to the basic of clubs. I have here, I think, only henrys clubs and one set of play, juggling PX3. And so let's start. Obviously, these are the strangest clubs on this frame, on this hangboard. It has mounted two really red traps, which also work as a real red trap. I have built this myself for a comedy routine and since then it's getting dust all over it. These are some juggling knives. I think they are from Mr. Babbage, but they are more than 10 years old. So I guess there are much newer models on the market and much better one. If you know some better knives, write it down in the comments below. Maybe someone else is searching for juggling knives and will appreciate this. These are my old LED juggling clubs. They were from A Technology, the A1 juggling club. To be honest, they are absolutely awful. The program on the computer is a nightmare and also the design of the club and the lifetime of a club is really, really bad. Luckily, they aren't sold anymore, so basically you can't get one. I have them just here in stock for my really, really last backup if everything fails. Here is my model I use at the moment. It's a Pirouette FT1, I think they call them, juggling clubs. I have used them just twice because of Corona, no shows, so I can't say anything about the longevity of it, but in the first I really like them, and as every basically LED juggler knows, Pirouette has maybe the best programming tools on your PC for it, so I don't know how long they last, but the first-hand review would be a really recommendation. And now let's start to the normal juggling clubs. So just I grab a random one and a second random one and you think, hey, they are the same. But they are not. I have taken them in a specific certain. You will see it here on the top. Maybe you see it. Yes, I think you see it. This one is a PX3 from Play Juggling and this one is a Delphine from henrys-juggling. What's the difference about it? The PX3 clubs, or I think now every club from Play has a center pin out of plastic, which makes the club a little bit more flexy and for the number jugglers out there lighter. I think Play Juggling at the moment sells the lightest juggling clubs on the market. Henrys have over 13 years experience in juggling club making, and they are still using wood pieces in the center. So there's basically one single wood stick in the center. In Karlsruhe here in Germany, they have specialized machines to control that the rods are straight and evenly in the weight. So don't think that, wow, wood, maybe it's just bent or it weighs differently. They have made really much engineering work into this to make it, even with wood sticks, really solid and good. And this is the body, this is the handle, center mark, knob and top to go through every part of a club. And if you don't know what to do with these things, you find here a tutorial I have shoot last week for how to juggle 3 clubs. So if you like to learn juggle with these things, go to this tutorial. I highly recommend it. And now, yeah, that's the basics. I personally only have Henrys and play juggling clubs. There are much more companies out there, like Dubé, Mr. Babash, K8 Malabares, and any other club juggling brands. Maybe someone write it down in the comments below what they are using. So yes, let's start a discussion down there. What is your preference in club choices and why? Write it down in the comments below. I would really like to see your opinion on it. And now let's get back to all of these clubs. Start with my first one. That's the last juggling club I own from my first juggling club set. I think these are something between 10 and 15 years old. I had 4 of them, but most are broken, or I have make a gift to someone else with it. That's the last one. I will keep them. And as you maybe noticed, these are pretty short. I think only Henrys, but I'm not sure, sells clubs in like a normal or a long version, which are 52 centimeters long, and shorter one, which are 48 centimeters long. In this case, it's a classic short. Why it's shorter? Because when I started juggling with these clubs, I was about 12 years old, so maybe this tall or even smaller, and for this purpose the smaller clubs are much better for the first steps to juggle them instead of the bigger ones, but only if you are really a small child and go into this juggling full gas. I recommend to buy these because you will grow out basically. They sell them in the classic, and on the Pirouette I have the classic one. Let's start with the next most common club design. It's called a classic or a Delphine. Or I think these are serious when you buy them from Play. They are classics when they have a wrapped handle like this, or a Delphine if they have a straight plastic cone as a handle. I would say they are nearly the most common clubs out there. They have a slightly longer head than the handle, and yeah, that's it. They are commonly used, they are widespread, and if you have no idea what style is suited for you, I would recommend them. They are totally fine and absolutely good, and in this version they are also pretty cheap if you just started juggling. The next will be, let's say, a pirouette or a loop. These are both from Henrys, and you would say, hey, they look pretty similar. Why they have different names? Basically, Henrys has at the beginning just only this wrapped handles. These are some PVC sheets, silver PVC sheets, which are wrapped around. So I hope you can see it. It's a little bit squishy and more flexible, and it's nicer to catch. At the beginning it was really hard to make these plastic cones also in the soft version. At the beginning they were awful. They were so hard it basically hurts in your hand to catch them. So now Henrys also have these plastic cones. These are loops, which basically a pirouette with a plastic cone, and this is a pirouette. Pirouette has a pretty short body and a longer handle. If I hold them like this, you see the handle is longer than the body and vice versa. These are the go-tos for numbers juggling, like 5 clubs, 6 clubs, or maybe 7 clubs and even more. And they are also widely spreaded, especially in Russia and all the circus stools. A really huge amount of jugglers use these. And now let's go to the 2 last clubs, which are a little bit strange or not so common, and to get a little twist out of it. These are Henrys Eyebars. Basically the handle to body ratio is the same as a classic. Here you will see it. But the head is much bigger. So basically this diameter of the body of the club is bigger. And so the whole club gets heavier, which makes the juggling a little bit slower because they don't spin so fast and you need a bigger height to make a full rotation of this club. And now we talk just a second for the pirouette, because if these two have married and got a child, a really strange child but awesome child, you get these, I think, Mirage. They are Mirage, they are from Henrys, and basically that's from the handle to body ratio a pirouette. But from the diameter of the body, it's an Eyebar. So you got a similar design to the pirouette, but a heavier head from the Eyebar, which is not commonly used. I don't see them so much, but in a second I tell you why I really like them for my rehearsals. So now let's start to talk about all these different designs and when to use them. Let's go reverse. The Eyebar has been really popular here in Germany and Europe around for passing. Basically, I don't know why, but some people really like them. Mine are hanging here for at least 5 years and I haven't used them because they are pretty heavy and stress your wrist a lot. So if you start juggling or if you use it for numbers and really long training sessions, I don't recommend them. Maybe if you are really into 6 club passing and maximum 7 club passing, they are fine and pretty common in that. So the short versions of clubs I've already told you, just for children. Pirouettes and these loops, which are basically pirouettes, are the go-to for really hard practice sessions and numbers juggling. At the moment, when I just have a simple training session, I always use my loops. These are the lightest clubs in my personal set. I like the style of a pirouette club, but they are slightly lighter than the normal pirouette from Henrys. That's my go-to, just for simple training sessions. Yeah, these are also pretty long and old, where you could only buy this pirouettes or loops with wrapped handles. I had them for a really long time, and they were my first clubs where I was able to flash 6 clubs, so I have 6 of them. Back to the classic. Widespread, pretty cheap club, most common club. So if you are going to meet a lot of different jugglers and try to go pass with them, make passing with them. Maybe more than half of the jugglers have just a classic club, so you can just swap your sets and change every club and there will be no problem. They're also fine. I have them for a really, really long time. When I'm passing, I'm using my Delphine. I think I have, well, I have, guess, over 10 of these. I have 6 in my garden for the training and 4 again here and 3 again in my trainings bag. Basically, that's my working horse. And I have go through a lot of these and also broke a lot of these. Basically, it happens. The plastic gets older and older and less flexible and they can break, and so you have to swap it out. From Play, you can buy, I think, nearly everything as a spare part online and change it by yourself. Henrys, you can send them in and they will try their best to repair them. Now we start with a Mirage. I don't train with a Mirage in normal training sets because for me they are too heavy. When I juggle 2 hours or something like that with my clubs, after a wrist injury, it's just too much stress on my wrist and too much weight to train with this really hard. But, and this is the big but, most of the time when I perform, I'm using LED clubs or even more juggling torches. And from juggling torches, what every company try to say, yeah, our juggling club, our juggling torch is exactly like our juggling club and no difference. But basically, they are lying. They are always much more weighted to the head, especially when you put bigger wicks on it to have a more visual impact in the show. And so they aren't like normal juggling clubs and also like most of the LED clubs. These are pretty heavy on the head. These are much better from Pirouette, but also not perfect. So I use them for my rehearsals. If I have a lot of rehearsals and go again and again and again through my choreography, and for warming up before my performances, I go to my Mirage because they are the closest you can get to your juggling torches, and so they're pretty nice for your warm-up routine. That's why I have the Mirage, even if I don't use them in my normal training sessions. And a lot of contact juggler also like the Mirage because of the weight distribution. For body rolls, it can be much better than all of the other clubs, and Eyebar would be an absolutely nightmare for body contact juggling style because you have just such a small handle and a really bulky head. So if you are into contact club juggling or fishtails with them, maybe go to the Mirage or a classic if you like. I hope I covered every club of mine. I think so. And you get a nice overview of the club models I own and maybe which suited to your juggling style. Yeah, that's a wrap. So if you like content like that in a review style of how these products are or what product choose for you, like a sock poi, contact poi, flag or whatever, write it down in the comments below. So I will make more content like that. That's the first try to go through my juggling clubs. And before you leave, congratulations. You watched the whole video just about nitty-gritty, nerdy juggling stuff, juggling club stuff. So that's the right combination. So yeah, you won a free subscription. So please be so kind. Click the subscription button. It only is a second for you and it appreciates my work, and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming video. It would be really awesome for me and it costs nothing to you. It's free, it's just a second, so click, great. And again, here you can subscribe and here you find the tutorial of how to juggle 3 clubs I've published last week. So bye.